I've got my top 10 must-add hitters for this week in fantasy baseball, and that list is coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. I'm going to give you my top 10 must-add hitters for Week 3 in fantasy baseball. If you like this content, then please smash that like button. And a special thanks goes to all of our subscribers who have been watching these videos, as you now account for 25% of all viewers. To the other 75% of viewers that haven't yet subscribed, I encourage you to do so, as it helps me create these videos for you. Also, leave a comment on a player that you think deserves to be on this list. Now, before I jump in, I'd like to talk about a brand new way to get fantasy baseball advice. Check it out. Hey guys, I know a lot of you have burning fantasy baseball questions, and I can now get to more of those with the help of a brand new exciting product from our partner, Q Platforms. For a small fee, I will personally respond to your questions. You'll get a brief audio response sent discreetly to your email. It couldn't be easier, and I'm excited for this new way to engage. Just go to askmeonq.com/beattheodds to submit your request today. That's askmeonq, spelled QU.com/beattheodds. Or click on the link in the description box below. Q is a quick and easy way to get the information that you need to win your fantasy or DFS league. And it helps support the channel, so try it out today. Now we're going to be doing things a little bit different for these episodes. I'm going to be going over my top 10 hitters to pick up on this list, and I'll have a separate episode later today on my top 10 pitchers to pick up. Now with that out of the way, let's get started with number 10. We have Jared Walsh, 6% owned, batting 6th in the lineup, 7 runs scored, a homer, 3 runs batted in, and a .346 average. The injury to Josh Young has caused some shuffling in the Texas infield and opened up a spot for Jared Walsh to see regular at-bats. He has been productive, starting off the year with a 7-game hitting streak. Now this is only a short-term pickup as we wait for Nathaniel Lowe to make it back to the squad, but I always say it's a really good idea to get a piece of the Texas lineup when it's available. Let's go to number 9. We have Keibert Ruiz, 60% owned, batting cleanup, a run, a homer, 3 runs batted in, and a .250 average to start the year. I still think Ruiz is undervalued given that he is the cleanup hitter on this team. Although he hasn't been tearing the cover off the ball to start the year, he has been very selective as he's only struck out 3 times so far this season. I expect his batting average to climb in the weeks ahead, so if somebody happened to have dropped Ruiz, it may be a good idea to pick him up before it's too late. Let's go to number 8. We have Brendan Donovan, 34% owned, batting leadoff with 6 runs, a homer, 6 runs batted in, and a .308 average. Donovan always seems to get overlooked in fantasy circles. It might be time we start to take him seriously. Although he lacks a true power stroke and doesn't have the speed to steal bases, he's really good at getting on base, as his .385 career on-base percentage suggests. Toss in that he's going to qualify for both the infield and the outfield, and I can see how he could fit into a lot of fantasy baseball rosters. Let's go to number 7. We have J.D. Davis, 15% owned, batting 6th in the lineup, 4 runs scored, 2 homers, 2 runs batted in, and a .308 average to start the year. Davis has tasted fantasy limelight in the past, and there's nothing saying that he can't do that again. He's been hitting the ball hard to start the year, and that's resulted in him putting 2 over the fence already. Though obviously Oakland isn't going to get a whole lot of attention this year, which makes Davis a bit of a deep sleeper, but if he continues at this pace, we may still get another useful season out of him. Going to number 6, we have Eugenio Suarez, 57% owned, batting 5th in the lineup in Arizona, 4 runs scored to start the year, 1 homer, 7 runs batted in, and a .355 average. Is this a different side of Suarez that we haven't seen yet? He's not striking out at the same pace that we're used to, and that's resulted in some fantastic production out of the gate. Suarez has struggled in the past to make contact on pitches in the zone, but that has not been the case so far this year, as he's in the 71st percentile for whiff percentage so far this season. Moving on to number 5, we have Jose Siri, 39% owned, batting 9th in the lineup, 4 runs scored this year, 1 homer, 2 runs batted in, 4 stolen bases, and a .231 average. We have already covered Jose Siri and his inability to make consistent contact at the plate, but so far in the early season, I've spotted a very interesting trend. He's actually taking pitches. Siri has a 16.7% walk rate, and that's higher than we've really ever seen from him. Now, I don't have to tell you how important it is to his value that he reaches base more often, as he's already logged 4 stolen bases this season. Let's go to number 4. We have Bryce Terang, 53% owned, batting 8th in the lineup in Milwaukee. 2 runs scored, 2 runs batted in, 6 stolen bases, and a .368 average. Terang has almost no power, but he is really fast and has been playing some solid defense to start the year. This has resulted in some regular at-bats at the bottom of the Milwaukee order. It's difficult for me to project what he can do over the course of a full season, but if we were to assume that he's going to be a little stronger, I could see him getting to double-digit home runs and steal possibly more than 30 bags this year. Let's go to number 3. We have Connor Joe, 20% owned, batting 5th in the lineup in Pittsburgh. 9 runs scored, a homer, 7 runs batted in, and a .346 average. Like Brendan Donovan, Connor Joe doesn't get a whole lot of fantasy love because of his lack of power and speed. And also, like Donovan, Joe has proven to be a valuable asset with his ability to get on base. The Pirates are going to be an interesting team this season, and Joe could be in for a quality year if he can stick in an important spot in the lineup. Let's go to number 2. We've got Ryan McMahon, 58% owned, batting 5th in the lineup in Colorado. 3 runs scored, a homer, 6 runs batted in, and a .414 average. An unwritten rule in fantasy baseball states that if a Rockies hitter gets off to a good start, you should pay attention. McMahon's 1130 OPS is fueled by quality metrics across the board, including a 95.4 mile/hour exit velocity and a solid 18.4 K rate and 13.2 walk rate. While McMahon has been eerily mediocre year over year, I think that his success to start the season is somewhat sustainable. And finally, at number 1, we have Taylor Ward, 60% owned, batting cleanup in Los Angeles. 8 runs scored to start the year, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in, and a .300 average. Now, we have seen this story before from Ward. He can carry a lineup and a fantasy squad at the plate. He has been hitting the ball to all fields to start the year, which is a great sign that he's locked in at the plate. The Angels need Ward's bat to produce like this all season long, and outside of the uncharacteristically low 2.9% walk rate, it is possible that we can see an all-star caliber season from him this year. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video and of course subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am going to sign off for now, but I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode.